Hello my beauties, thank you so much for watching. If it's your first time here, my name is Pheladi and I hope you guys are all still doing well. In today's makeup tutorial, I will be showing you beauties how to create this beautiful halo cut crease makeup tutorial using affordable products once again. And yeah, the palette that I will be playing in is this gorgeous Makeup Revolution palette. It's the Unconditional Love palette, but what I love about this look is that you can create it with the palette that you have and just interchange the colors. So it's not strictly to that palette, it's just that I will be playing in that palette today. Before we get into this tutorial, I would like to say another big thank you to all of my subscribers. Guys, we have hit 1,000 subscribers. It really means a lot to me, you guys. I cannot say this enough, how much your support means to me. I really appreciate you guys showing me so much love and trusting me with that little subscribe, you know, like I have no words other than thank you very, very much. Here's to more and more subscribers, which is your cue when I'm a girl. If you are not yet subscribed, please take this opportunity to subscribe to my channel, because it would really mean a lot to me. As you guys might know, having 1,000 subscribers is like a very big milestone for us YouTubers. So thank you so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. The first thing that I will be doing is priming my face using this Maybelline Baby Skin Ifedile Pore Erasing Primer. We'll be going in with my Yardley London Stay Fast foundation in the shade MD5W today. I will be using it with my kabuki brush just to buff it in first before I go over it with the beauty blender. The reason why I use a beauty blender after using my brush is to erase any streaks that might be left behind by the brush, but also using a beauty blender just gives off this beautiful airbrushed look. I mean, it really helps the foundation sit properly on top of the primer. If you have oily skin like I do, you always want to set your foundation lightly. I'm going in with my Yardley loose powder in the shade Cuppacino, because that Maybelline Baby Skin primer, it really does nothing for us oily girls, which is why I always take it a step further by setting my foundation, just so that it doesn't end up looking cakey an hour or two from now. You know, it is a wonderful primer, don't get me wrong, it's just that you need to set your foundation just so that it doesn't work against your skin type. When it comes to highlighting today, I'm going in with my Makeup Revolution Conceal and Define. This is the foundation though, and it's in the shade F13, and I'm going to use this as my first layer, first base of highlight. And this would look so beautiful if we were going for an everyday type of look, because it is so close to my natural skin tone. And as a beginner, you might want to go with this foundation as your concealer, but you can also get it in a concealer. But I just love the supersized nature of this bottle, because the small concealer it runs out quickly. So I just decided to get the foundation and use it as concealer, because it is the exact same shade as the concealer. And as a beginner, this is the color you want to use when you're first starting out in makeup, because it is going to look like you've highlighted, but it won't show as much if you make a mistake or if you are still learning how to blend. I like to alternate as I go with my beauty blender and the brush, but I use the foundation side just so that everything meshes in beautifully together. But do you see how beautiful this coverage from this foundation is, beauties? I absolutely love how, you know, just balanced it makes my face look, even though I do use it as a highlight shade, because I can never wear it as foundation, like, no. So I love it. I love how it just blends in together and gives me this like almost perfect, almost natural highlight shade. The reason why I don't allow this to sit is because Makeup Revolution products, they dry out really quickly, and it would be a disaster if it sit like this, because these lines were not going to be as blendable as, like, let's say your LA Girl Pro Conceal. So while I let my concealer get tacky, I'm using my LA Girl Pro Conceal in the shade Cool Tan today to give myself an extra highlighted look underneath my eyes. I'm going to contour using this Makeup Revolution contour stick in the shade F18. I also take that same beauty blender, the product side, because it's full of foundation and concealer now, so I'll just say it's the product side, and I blend those two together so that there aren't any harsh lines, but then I'm still highlighted and I'm still contoured, but I'm just essentially erasing any lines of demarcation. I like using this Real Techniques Expert Crease brush to blend out my nose contour, because it's just too big for me to use on my eyelids for shadows. So I've actually found a perfect use for it, which is to blend out this contour, and it does it so beautifully and flawlessly every time. And now let's see how LA Girl is doing. Ooh, she tacky, alright. Oh wow. Oh, I am a sucker for a bright under eye. It just makes my whole makeup day. I like to take whatever is on the brush and just sweep it onto my eyelid, and that will double up as my primer. Since I haven't yet been able to go out to re-up on that blush of mine from Signature Cosmetics, I'm going to use a red lipstick. This one is by Makeup Revolution. When using blush as lipstick, I would suggest you blend it out with a beauty blender just to make sure that everything blends in together seamlessly, because with the brush you might take the risk of blending it everywhere where you don't want. But with a beauty blender, you've got the power. You can pinch the sponge as much as you like, and you can just keep it there. And you want to take some on the bridge of your nose, maybe some on your chin, and of course on your forehead. I just love how this just ties everything in together. It gives my face, you know, more life and more color than just browns. And I know I don't have naturally pink cheeks, but with the makeup, darling, I can. Before I set this concealer, I just want to make sure that it hasn't set underneath my eyes and those fine lines that I have underneath my eyes. By the way, I'm using my sorbet powder to you translucent powder. I really love how finely milled the setting powder is, beauties. I mean, sure, it really sets my concealer flawlessly every time, leaving me with no creases. It's the most finely milled setting powder that I've used, meaning like it's not so heavy or chunky as, let's say, your LA Girl banana powder. It's not even as finely milled as your Makeup Revolution. It's just in a league of its own for a drugstore setting powder. And I've decided that I'm gonna let it sit for just a little bit today, and I'm gonna go in and set my contour. Yo, my thigh is itching, but itching so nicely. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and set my contour using my Maybelline Fit Me Press Powder in the shade 370. And then I'm going to set the rest of my face using my Yardley Press Powder in the shade Walnut. So I know I said I'm just going to leave that concealer there as a base, but I just want to feel a bit secure, so I'm going to prime my lid space using my Makeup Revolution Prime and Lock eyeshadow primer. So for today's eyeshadow look, as I said before, I will be playing in this gorgeous 24 shadow eyeshadow palette by Makeup Revolution. It's their Unconditional Love palette. It's got a mix of mattes and shimmers. I can see 6 shimmers, that means it's got 12 matte shades, and the first shade I will be picking up is this one right here, and it's called Attached, and I will be packing it on the outer edges and inner corners of my eye using my Real Techniques base shadow brush. I feel like maybe you beauties can come closer, just so that you can see what I'm doing better. So what I'm doing is I am patting the shade. I'm not blending it or anything. I am just literally patting it into place on the outer area of my eye, like that. And for the inner part of my eye, because that brush is a tad bit too big for that part of my eye, I'm going to switch it up and take this dense shade brush and do the exact same thing I did on my outer V. Much better, much, because you want something that's going to fit in there but not be stiff, if you know what I mean. That's the only time you don't want anything that's not stiff. Hey. Yo! You ladies know what I mean. But take your time, really, no one is running after you. Take your time to perfect your skills when a baby girl, because you know, at the end of the day, all of these skills that you acquire, you're doing it for you, you know. And makeup has got this, you know, way of just boosting a woman's self-confidence. So yeah, take your time. You're gonna get there. You're gonna learn how to do all these eye looks. Just be patient with yourself and do not rush it. And now to blend this shade out, I'm going to use this beautiful pinkish shade here. It's called Swipe. And I will take, it's right there, this one at the corner here. And I will take it on my Zoeva 231 brush. And what I'm going to do with the shade is I am going to lightly pat it along the edges of that previous shade called Attached, like that. I'm not going to go in circular motions or anything. Not today. Well, not yet. Just going to pat it along the edges, like so. And with a very light hand, I'm going to begin to marry these two shades together. Take my cut crease canvas. It's by Makeup Revolution. I'm just going to transfer it at the back of my hand. And I'm going to find a brush that I can use because my nails are so long I cannot use my finger. And what I'm going to do is just going to tap on the product and then tap it off. Alrighty, now that that is looking like that, I'm going to take I want a nude color, a nude shade, because I want to add this glitter in the middle. I've never used it yet and I'm dying to use it. It's called Dubai Prawns, if I'm not mistaken, but underneath here it says MGLI01. It's by NYX and I'm going to tap it down the middle. So for my base, I am thinking of going in with the shade here, and it's called Unconditional, and that's what I'm going to use just to have a base for the glitter. Not really, but something for the glitter to sit on. The glitter is going to sit on top of blue, but I just want there to be a matte shade on that concealer as well. So I'm going to take this small blending brush and I'm going to go in with our initial shade called Attached, and I'm going to make sure that there aren't any harsh lines between these two mattes. Hey beauty, so I'm going to use my lash glue to apply the glitter. And by the way, beauties, NYX is having a clearance sale on all NYX products because, as I told you in my past tutorial, is that NYX is no longer going to be sold here. So everything on NYX website, yeah, NYX is on 50%, guys. So yeah, if you ever wanted anything in NYX, I think now is the time to get it before it runs out, because they are selling like hotcakes. But the sale is running until the 13th of March. So yeah, that is my plug for the day. sure if I want to give myself a wing because this look is a fire, but I want to try something with you guys today. So I'm going to give myself a bit of a wing, whatever that means. You guys know what it means by now. I'm going to give myself that type of wing. After I give myself that type of wing that I'm talking about, I'm going to go in with this shade called Attached, and I am going to apply it, like tap it all over where I'm going to have this wing. Thank you, darling. Thank you. Right now, we're going to tackle the bottom lash part of my eye, and I'm going to take that same shade called Attached, and I'm going to drag it onto my lower lash line using the small blending brush. The innermost part of my bottom lash line, I'm going to go in with this shimmer shade right here, and it's called Love. Okay, for lips, I'm going to line them with my brown lip liner, and then I'm going to fill them in with my Essence Date Proof Lippie, and I'm going to create an ombre using my Makeup Revolution Lips Matte Lipstick in the shade Inspiration, and I will just dab that in the middle of my lips. Set my face now with my Maybelline Lasting Fix Setting Spray. Okay, beauty, so now that you've made it here, kindly click on this tutorial to watch next, because my darling, if you enjoyed this beat, I know you're gonna absolutely love that one as well. And if you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel and show your girl some love. I will catch up with you beauties again in my next one. And once again, beauties, thank you so much for 1K subscribers. You guys really mean a lot to me, and it's the type of feedback that I love. And yeah, let's grow some more. I'll catch you guys again in my next one. Bye.